regional champion, world champion. I mean, what more is there to say about this man? Like, he has done it all. He has the best TFT CV competitors in the world, pretty much. Like, he is so good at the game. It's actually insane, right? He also, by being two-time regional champion, there's also, another world's participation. We don't talk too much about that one, not doing too hot and well. But like, look at this carousel here. Like, again, well, that was, there was no defensive components, no rods, only bows, gloves, tears, and swords. But what are your thoughts on like a tier opener right now? Like, again, we can't really be like, okay, we're just gonna full stack our tier because we need to play and not give up here. So like, what is your thoughts on tier start?
I actually kind of like tier start because for me, well, in my games, I've been playing a lot personally of like Anivia carry, or I mean, I'd love to get Deja, but it's normally contested. But I'm actually okay with that AP centered gameplay, of course, as well. You can eventually get Aoshin and Asol, maybe Shyvana, like late stage. So I personally am actually kind of okay with the tier. I normally go for Archangels kind of angle. But for the competitive scene, I still think that's pretty good. I mean, we've seen Deja just performing so well this weekend, and Anivia just slotting in for these Jade comps as well as a primary carry until you can get that, later stage carry.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I think tier is actually a very fine item start. I don't think there's any item start out there right now that is inherently really, really, really bad. Because even Cloak right now has some uses. I think that's safe to say here.
And we've got the Mirage. So top right corner of your screen, chat, you can see. So it's going to be Electric Overload. Wait, I know you're going to comment something as well, but what do you think about that as a Mirage angle?
I think that is an okay one. There's like the whole Leona reroll composition that I'm not even going to entertain, right? Okay. I think it's a pretty good one for like early game because it's a lot of combat power. It's pretty much just a good old-fashioned Electric Overload, or like, what is it called? No. Electric Charge, right? Mm-hmm. Speaking of good old here, press the attack not as high in value as it used to be because Saya is pretty much unplayable right now. And I mean, she's not unplayable, but she's not high prio. Varus reroll requires some pretty significant things to go well, like we saw earlier on today in the first game of the day, if I recall correctly from... Let me check my notes again. 4 games are a lot of games already to have to
yeah, of course, trying to keep track of, like, 32 players mentally and what they played, yeah, it's definitely a hard one, so no problem there. But luckily for you, Rita, whilst you're saying that, I can fill for you and be a best friend. As we saw Double 61 pick up there. Right, so now we have Scapeus here. And they are potentially going to go for... Well, I mean, obviously they're just playing best board at the moment. But I always like to try and think that the players are constructing things early and planning ahead as well. Not just only playing strongest board. So for me, this could be a mage angle. Probably not Astral, but potential mage early.
Yeah, I think that Ak has the better opener here, right? Like, you're looking at it. It's both these are true 2 openers, but he has the early set here, even though, the hook there could be really, really, really big here at the end of the day. Yeah, this is just going to be a win for Ak here, right? Straight up. Skippy was most likely, just, hoping to make 10. You can see that he still makes 10 without really having to give up any of his true 2s. But he just still has that Kiana, which is one of the better units here. See, Gun may pick up Tristana 2 already. That could really start accelerating the noms he's stacking here. Any augments that stick out to you right now?
Just taking a look. Oh, we've got the hot shot. I mean, I always like second wind as an augment. Like to keep, it's like one of those nice combat augments that just keeps your board healthy early and allows you to, hopefully win streak. I think it's a nice augment to take, and something that stays strong throughout the whole game. So for me, that's a very good one.
Yeah, so we have Gunmei here. Static Shift, Tristana 2. That is a pretty solid opener, one would at least one would say. Also worth noting right now, while Gunmei does have a Swedish flag, he's pretty much reverse. He's reverse Panda, where Gunmei is Swedish with Spanish roots, and Panda is the other way around, pretty much, right? So there's a little fun tidbit there. I think we're going to be touching on that later this weekend in an interview, if I recall correctly. So that's going to be fun.
Well, there you go, chat. There's going to be a pop quiz at the end of the weekend, so make sure you take a note on all of these things, okay?
Could you imagine, though, by the way? Just like...
I'd take it. I'd fail, so I would bomb so hard.
Which TFT Rising Legends player are you? Take this quiz to find out.
Oh, I would like that, actually. I'd be down for that. We can get onto that. We can design that. Oh, we got a player cam as well. Joshy Chain coming in, as Counterfeit said, representing Great Britain, mate. Hopefully staying warm, staying cool in this warm weather over in England. Hopefully he's got a bowl of water by his side. And Joshy Chan very focusing on what he's going for here. Got this Elise carry angle going on at the moment, which I actually like. I really like Elise as an early game carry.
She's very good. Like, there are still angles right now where she's actually pretty good in the late game as well, right? We have seen this Whisper composition pretty much rise to prominence, where it's it's Elise and Siphon a duo carry symbiotic relationship that can work out quite well. But again, Joshy Chan as well, is worth noting here that he didn't know that he was playing this tournament this morning. We had a few players dropping out, and this meant that there was a space in here for Joshy Chan, who made it through ladder, actually. I didn't know that was how he got a spot, as we had someone drop out. So, this is a very, very, very good chance to come in and really prove yourself. We had Joshy Chan on an interview last season as he made it through one of our open qualifiers when we're covering them still. Where like he was just happy, like was just very over the moon to be able to play. He was thanking his siblings for not being annoying while he was playing the tournament, stuff like that, right? So it really just speaks volume to how many different life situations we have competing in these types of events.
Yeah, I mean, I take two things from that, right? First one is, of course, gamers can be like, oh, last minute 3-day tournament, 8 hours a day to play. Yeah, I can do that. I've got nothing going on this weekend. I got no plans to cancel. That's fine. I'll slot right in. So, praise the gamers. But also, the fact that in this tournament, it's really important, even if you don't get top 64, even if you're 65th, 66th, there's this chance that you can still make it through to day 2 because somebody might have to drop out or something. And yeah, you're getting in on a technicality, but hey, we've seen it even just today. A few people had to drop out and change and whatnot. So somebody like Joshy Chan being able to enter into the cup unexpectedly.
I mean, there's no shame in being coming in on a wild card. I mean, I'm from Denmark.
Yeah,
our greatest sporting achievement of all time was us winning the Euros off after they got in last minute due to some stuff we shouldn't get into. But Ging here as well as a player that you would not expect to be in this position, right? Like Ging as well, double Worlds participant, one of the strongest players. That list I was talking about included Salvi earlier on. It was at the top of the show. Would also include Ging, just one of the best players in the region that has been so consistently ever since the game launched, pretty much.
Yeah, and looking at the shop here, they've got this Nico, but they are completely the wrong board to want to pick this up. That would have been really nice if they'd had this Jade angle, but one of the players in the lobby that isn't actually opting for Jade, so they've got this trainer angle at the moment, and it's doing them well. They're win streaking all the way through stage 2, which is good to keep that health and just allow them to make those choices later in the lobby and maybe sacrifice some health in the mid game to set up for the late game stage composition that they might want. So good from Ging here, as you say, living up to their name, living up to just playing really, really well in tournament play.
He's just a very good player. Again, they're just playing the strongest board for now that just ends up including this. I think that if he was not dropping economy here, I don't think there is a world where he doesn't hold the Nico. But again, he's dropping economy. It's not necessarily a direction giver either. I think that is the big thing. It has been like a Corki, a Dragon, for example, as well, which it could be a Dragon technically. We've seen a couple of those stage 2 Dragons already today. Then it would have been held, but not the case here. As he makes 20 full streaking, Ging is loving life right now.
Yeah, this is a really... I mean, it's not even, for me, like, a good board in the sense that you've got this Vlad Thief's Glove carry. You've not really got much to start apart from the Tom and the Vlad. But it's doing surprisingly well. I don't know if this is just because the rest of the lobby has, like, low-rolled early. I don't know. This doesn't seem like a super strong comp for me, but it's working.
I mean, a lot of it comes down to how this opener has panned out. You can see here, he slammed the TG.
Yeah.
Now he gets a Sunfire Cape as well, so he's in a pretty good spot. Second Wind also tends to, be really, really strong here. Picks up a Tristana from a box here. Could be looking into an angle. Okay. We have Sunfire Gunblade. That actually could be a Corki angle. If
yeah, and there's the Corki.
Speaking of the devil, well, that is a Corki.
Ask and you shall receive. We are caster blessing purely today. That is it. Panda was caster blessing earlier today. Now we're doing it, Weeda. I mean, this is a beauty.
Yeah, we saw this in the previous game as well, trying to tie it back to what we saw in game number 3, right? We saw how the TG on the Siphon was pretty good to be put in the spot, right? I think that is something as well as worth noting. I like what he was doing here, by the way. The difference between a Skarner and an Alawi at this point in the game is not going to be that big. So if you could get like a Shroud or like a Zephyr, for example, I think that's a very good one to look out for here. It's a Draven's Axe game.
It's a Draven's Axe game. And you can see it just absolutely annihilating the Corki with this Kayn here. And now through the Nomsy, this could be the end to Ging's win streak, but no. No. Not enough. Even taking down the Corki early, there's just too much on the board. Ging's got that level advantage as well on double 61 there, so jeez.
Yeah, jeez indeed. And this also means now that you can play Corki with every front line, right? But right here, right now, Ida's front line will go up in prio.
Ooh.
Pandora's Spence, Shell is a really good augment. I think like when I'm looking at stats, like Shell like is one of my best performing augments by itself. Yeah. Titanic Strength is still a very good augment, not necessarily that strong when you're looking at the setup he's looking at right now. And I love Shell a lot. Shell is just such a good augment, man.
Like, see, I'm actually a Pandora's Bench kind of guy. For me, I get my best games with Pandora's Bench because it's like the only way I'm going to hit what comp I actually want to hit. But I have been baited a couple times and almost got 3-star dragons and then been like one off and then gone out and been very, very upset, ruined my day, and I'm unable to queue again. But yeah, maybe Pandora is not the best option, but I definitely like it.
Yeah, I think it also is very dependent on the situation here, as Skippy has gone and done a Skippy Classic going to level 7 at some random time. Skippy is known for his very random level ups here. This one does make sense though, it does have that Dragon Horde, I believe. That's the Dragon Horde. And he gets a Deja here. So again, Electric Overload, not necessarily the greatest Mirage for having, you know, Deja and trying to focus on her as a carry, but when you get it for free and you now have a clear game plan to work from, it could be what you need to do, but again, it's not guaranteed success as well. I think that's the big one here. Had that been, you know, one of the more one of the, you know, either Spell Soul or whatever, that could have been very interesting to follow. But I mean, now it's just all about picking up the dragons.
Yeah, sometimes you get these dragons early and you're like, yes, nice, I got it. Okay, I win now, right? Because that's what everyone on Reddit and Twitter and in Twitch chat says. I'm going to win because I have a dragon. And then you end up losing like 3 rounds in a row and you're just mental boomed. But I'm sure Scapeus here is going to be just fine given a couple rounds. Got that Deja 1. Also the Zeke's on the camera. I like that as well. Okay,
our eyes are not deceiving us, by the way. That is reckless. That's reckless spending, no?
Oh, I didn't actually see. Maybe my eyes are deceiving me because they weren't actually open. Yes, go on.
That is reckless spending, no? Which is like one of the more interesting augments in the game.
Well, it did just get in a patch removed. You can no longer. I think it was 12.1.5 where you can no longer get it at 2.1, right?
Or, you can no longer get it on 2.1 now, but he's taking it for free too, so it still showed up. I would be very interested to see like how this goes. Again, he has a free Shimmers on the board. He has a Kayn. And again, this is more of like an economic investment, I would argue, right? That, you know, the additional bonuses means that you're going to get more Draven's Axe stacks from your Kayn. I guess that is what he's working from. Very unfortunate actually for him that his Kayn got stuck and didn't get the last free hits off, so you would have been able to know what to play around from, like what open component you would have, right? Because that open component would just help you out a lot. Obviously, also it's extra 10 gold, you know, to get your cross at breakpoint, all these types of things. But like, who cares? We're going to a carousel here with the and that was like the item that was the most important thing to look out for.
Yeah, and I want to talk as well with on double 61. Actually picking up the spats. Are they going to go for like a 9 shimmer scale angle? Am I crazy to think that? Oh, okay. I mean, they've only got 3 in at the moment, but they could at least get 5 here. I mean, they've got Draven's Axe. Shimmer Scale is a worthy investment, but even just to keep 3 in, I think, is good.
Yeah, any unit needed here. No Idas in sight, though, sadly. So we're going to be sticking around with it. Again, he's guaranteed to know that, like, yeah, that is direct. That is indeed reckless spending here. Also, might just been the Kayn 2 would have helped him with his game plan quite a lot here. So let's see what the components he can get a spat from this. That's worth noting. Well, that's a cloak, not a spat.
a cloak and not a spat, but you know, there'll be more rounds, more chances, more opportunities. You don't only get one shot in this game. Double 61's going to be trying to take theirs, and Kayn taking out this Deja, even only with... this is the thing, right? Double 61 got reckless spending, they've got this Draven's Axe, but they've got no gold in the bank. So it's not the best right now, but Double 61 is making good work of it.
Oh.
Siphon doesn't die.
Siphon doesn't die here, but the Voidling almost did it. So, again, it's interesting to see here. Another player that actually came in here on a bit of a... as a bit of a last-minute substitution here, Kai'Sa's Rage or Kai'Sa's Rage. We are still not fully sure on it, I think, but...
gotta be Kai'Sa's Rage, right?
Should be Kai'Sa's Rage, right? I think so too. Coming in here now, taking a spot from, I believe, the Open Qualifier. So to me, a player that I have not seen. I have not seen this name on ladder. I've not seen it in streams. That could just be me, you know, being oblivious to the name, not really realizing it. But again, pretty strong performance in this game so far.
Yeah, like we say, this is a middle-of-the-pack lobby right now. Everyone going into this was on 14 points. So everyone's been doing decently well. And this is where things will end for that, right? We're going to have a bottom four, we're going to have a top four, so this is where the group is going to separate out. But we see now Kai'Sa's Rage here with this, as you're saying, doing very well so far. This Tristana 2 against another Tristana 2, and it's going to be the Tristana 2 that wins it. Kai'Sa's Rage doing very well with this Trainer Cannoneer Rebel comp right now.
How many Tristana 2s could Tristana's 2s if Tristana's 2 could 2?
Well, there's another Tristana 2 to tell you.
So the thing that's worth noting here as well, has Guide Expert already with a Static Shiv slammed, I believe, as well, right? So double Static Shiv value with Gadget Expert, like with this board, is just... that is very, very, very strong.
And I want to ask as well, Vito, what's with this Olaf on the bench, right? Like, why is he holding this? I guess you can go Shen Warrior, sure, but is it really worth holding?
I don't know. We haven't seen anyone, you know, be looking in for an angle we saw earlier on today with the
6 scale scorns, huh?
Oh, that was a game and a half, weren't it? Like, I was watching that game from Tian's perspective, and on Croc, like, his game was actually going really poorly. Then on Croc, he just got dropped the Sum of Traits randomly and just got the game, you know, just got all this direction right there and then. That is pretty good here. Going over to Axe perspective, a player here currently in last place, and he has found himself an Idus, Draven's Axe, Corki on the board. So he is looking mighty fine. If you can find a Corki 2, that would be absolutely amazing. He's going to try to make Econ instead, it seems.
Yeah, desperately rolling at level 7 as well, but has been able to get... They're sitting on 2 Corkis, 2 Idus, so it's like, I'm so close. I don't want to have to wait in level to 8 and somebody else potentially stealing my Corkis or Idus out of the pool. But Siphon's going to be stealing away at Axe health here. Siphon going up against this Whisper versus Whisper now as he battles the Thresh. The Idus holding on well, but Axe just has no damage left. It's going to be Siphon versus Idus, and Lena there is going to be taking this round.
Yeah, this is also a very important fight, right? You're looking at the HP totals here. That was like you know, neck on neck. Both of them had the same amount of HP here, and now it is time. Heroic Presence is an augment that I have not seen picked in God knows how long, honestly, because again, we've had some situations where Idus has not been the strongest points. You're not really investing too much into these augments as well. Second Night is a very good Corki augment.
Yeah, it did get nerfed a little bit in 12.1.5, correct? But it's still, I think, a good choice to take.
Yeah, and the thing is that, yes, the AD of it was nerfed, but the AP weren't, if I recall correctly.
Very true, yes.
And Corki uses both.
Rolls it, though.
I mean, that makes sense. It's a good augment, but again, you might need something else here. Move the dummies and play. Makeshift armor goes up in value. Also means you need to focus on, you know, centralizing your items onto a few specific units. It's gonna be swapping out here, selling off the Corki. Want to move stuff around, it seems. I think there's gonna be like BT on the Yasuo. There's a DX.
Yeah, there it is.
Like just sitting on the bench though is an issue, right? Because he's missing out on potentially like 3 to 4 stacks here, but it's gonna be like Yasuo with secondary carry in the Sona. I can see this board struggling quite a lot here because like primary carry Yasuo tends to like not really do a whole lot.
Yeah, Axe definitely in trouble here. They're at the bottom of the board, 27 HP. They maybe got 1 or 2 losses left in them, but their composition just isn't strong enough here. It's not really got anything tangible to hold it together. They're down 13 HP I'd say that's probably their last loss, or very close to.
I mean, the question is if it is a Soju last loss or if it's an actual last loss, right? I think that is the big one, because, like...
Soju
sure,
at 100 HP. All right, boys, last loss. We're going 8th.
Yeah, at the end of the day here, that might be the case for Aki. We're talking about the stakes in this lobby in particular. We're at the halfway point here now. We've crossed that line. It's the middle of the pack lobby, aka the lobby that is currently on the bubble, the most volatile one when it comes to securing day 2 qualification. And Ag right now is about to take an 8th. Like, that could be really, really grim for his prospects.
Yeah, even switches in the items off that Yasuo now realizes after one round that it's not working. Throws them onto Sona, though. So Sona Draven's Axe. Now this Shyvana for Kai'Sa, though, is absolutely going to rage the front line here. Just dispatching of everything. The Itis is going to go down. This is going to be it for Ak. I think there's enough units on the board for Kai'Sa to take Ak out of the game, and in 8th place, our first 8th of the lobby.
Still alive at 1, right? I thought.
Oh, still alive! Okay, ignore everything I said. He holds on. He's got another last loss.
Another last loss. Yes.
Another last loss.
You know what? Like, that's like one of the funny things about like when you watch YouTubers, right? So sometimes when it should be like saying latest video, they say last video, and like their end screens and end cards and stuff like that. I don't know if you've ever noticed that.
No, I haven't actually.
No, like it's just funny at times, right? It was like,
Yeah.
well, maybe this wasn't your last video, right? Like, this is kind of like how this might have feel like the end card of the previous fight said that was my last loss. Well, no, it was your latest loss instead, right?
Yeah,
So
it was your latest loss,
now.
but now we're on the last loss. But Ak holding on desperately there, and this is this should be our final component carousel here. You can see the widget on the left side of your board, chat. You can see what everyone's currently holding in terms of items, and Ak there with nothing to grasp onto. They've used everything. But Laynad here in a good spot. Very nicely itemized Siphon. No additional damage really coming across the board. They got the Elise still holding on. They got the 6 Whispers, so Elise here going to be doing some additional damage. And helping out with that Shapeshifter Neeko as well. So an interesting addition to the team.
This is just the call I was talking about, where you have the Elise Siphon duo carry, but with how contested Siphon has been in this lobby so far, because Joshi is on the Dragon Horde, not Dragon Alliance, the other one is on the Dragon Horde, right? So you have 2 players on Dragon Augments, which is going to significantly limit the amount of dragons in the pool, because those 2 players are going to be only rolling for those dragons here. But at least the Elise is doing a good amount of work here at the moment, so it shouldn't really be that big of an issue for Laynad, I say. Maybe a little bit too preemptively.
Yeah, who wins? Dragons vs. Spiders. Siphon charges over, takes a big old chunk out of Siphon, but I think this is going to be... Yeah, that's going to be Joshi that takes that one. And actually, I'm hoping that Joshi wins today so that Panda can hopefully interview them, and maybe we can have a conversation about mustaches, how they groom them, how they maintain them, all sorts of information about that so I can grow my own. And in chat, if you want to learn how to grow your own mustache, I'm sure they can teach us. We see Laynad here get the Siphon 2, also has the Sylas 2 next round if they want it. They can sell the Neeko, but at level 7, trying to then find 2 more Neekos later on, I don't think is the wise choice. But Laynad here, they're at 15 health. Do you think going for the 2-star Sylas was the right call? Just to throw everything into the pot on this one, as they are potentially on their last loss?
I don't know, actually. I think that there's definitely an argument to make, right, for that to be the case. And I think that, I feel like at the end of the day, I don't think Sylas 2 is really going to be something that is going to be a big difference maker,
yeah.
To be completely honest. I think that you would much rather just say, okay, I'm going to win out here, not going to lock the shop, and then just be happy and potentially, hopefully hit the Neeko to the next shop. That most likely will probably not. They'll win the fight here for now, right? Scapeus, the other dragon player that we saw.
Yeah, they don't need to lock. That's great for them. But Scapeus now pushed into the potential last loss. I don't know what a last loss is anymore. I can't believe my faith has been rocked. But now we're going into this shrine round, and Laynad doesn't mess around at all. It just takes it straight away.
Yeah, time resolve for Elise here is very good. Scapeus is an interesting one, right? Because he has more items to work with than pretty much everyone else right now at this point in time. I do believe, right, with the Draven's Axe working through. Has to find out what he really wants here, and he's going to be taking this. I do believe he wants the IE for something as well. Like, this is going to be very game-defining for like how this game goes.
Yeah, and Scapeus levels to 8 here, moving things around. figuring out the last few elements of that comp. Has a Siphon 2 that they can throw in, holding on to that Elise. I think Kaiser can't get the Elise 3. I don't think Kaiser got Elise 3, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, have to give up the Elise 2, like the second part of Elise 2, right? To,
Mm-hmm.
you know, get the Siphon 2 and just try to stabilize their board. So a lot of Siphon action right now if you just start to like take a look around the lobby, right? You have Siphon 2 here, Siphon 2 there, Siphon probably everywhere.
It's a Dr. Siphon rhyme for you, chat. Can you keep up? And I mean, Scapeus here just has items galore, can really pick and choose where they want to throw things around. It's going to have this real beefy front line with this Siphon and shit. I mean, their carries are their front line are their carries. This is a real strong looking board from Scapeus, but they are very low HP, so they've got to win this one. Xayah 1 with the Draven's Axe Rageblade for double 61 is just pumping through the dragons, but not enough. Can't really get any tangible damage. Maybe gonna get rid of the Siphon, but Siphon charges over and just noms her real quick. Nom done. But now it's Siphon versus Shyvana. Double 61 is gonna win that one, and Shyvana lets out a mighty roar as she sends Scapeus to 6th place.
That is actually interesting, right? He's Shiva Scale Emblem Reckless Spending.
Yeah.
Shyvana, okay. I have not seen this one before. This is not an angle that I would pursue. This is, I mean, the fact that he's even 5th in Reckless Spending is going to take that average placement up, I don't know how much, man. Like,
that's
amazing.
A very interesting Shyvana. I like that. I mean, that's got to be that's a painful one for Scapeus, who actually goes out on 0 HP as well. The perfect last. Well, no, sorry, I think they did. I think it reset now, but maybe I'm incorrect.
Get to see double sport yet again here against Kaiser. And that, again, the Frozen Heart Kayn going into the back line is just such a big thing to watch out for, because there's a distinct lack of QSF in the lobby so far. I mean, it's gonna die. But,
it's gonna die, but it's actually doing a surprising amount of damage there. I think if that gets 2-starred, which I mean, double 61 has a little bit of health left in the tank, but they've got no gold to roll for that Shyvana.
Yeah, and they have to pump in 6 gold every round. They have to level that to roll. So
exactly.
It is really, really, really damn hard for Double to really elevate himself from this position, because he needs to make some distinct board upgrades. It's going to be very hard to make here. Speaking of distinct board upgrades, well, we're looking at a blue buff Gunblade Titan's Resolve Yasuo on level 7. That is pretty good. It's a Yasuo pair as well. And look at the Pandora's bench. We were talking about this one, right? Side, he's just rolling 5 costs trying to hit a Yasuo too.
Yeah, this is perfect. I mean, if they can hit it, this is everything that Joshi Chan's going to be holding on to. They do have the bard, and you can see that they could potentially 2-star that, but they're like, nah, I got to go all in on this Yasuo, hoping to win this round to get that 20 gold econ as well, and then maybe they look to roll down soon. They're not in the... I mean, they're tied with double 61 for the lowest of the lobby, but Joshi Chan... The Yasuo knocks everything up. The Ornalt comes in. Xiao Yu is just going to be cleaving through the front line here with the Yasuo combo, the Wombo. But Corki's still alive. Bard's still alive. It's not enough for Joshi. They're down. They're down to their last loss.
Double want to fight as well. Was that the fight on screen? Did I just miss that completely?
What? Which one? Sorry.
The one double one.
Oh, no.
Right, like I'm not trying to say so. Double just winning again here. That is like Double my top 4 with Reckless Spending Shyvana. If anyone had that on their bingo card going into today, well, I don't know, man. You are a psychic. Then psychics exist. I don't know, man. Speaking of Shyvana, in the shop with Joshi Chan, 2-star
There's the Yasuo.
That could be big. That could be the deciding factor here. Again, if the Yasuo 2 just stays alive, man, that is so much damage in time.
What else can you do with this composition, though? You got the level 1 Leona. I guess you get the Mirage and the Guardian. But, I mean, what do you think? Siphon could go in. You'd have to lose the Bard. You'd lose Mystic. I don't know. I don't really know what Joshi can do to rearrange their comp here. I'd maybe take the Leona out, though, right?
Trade to a higher power outside the Leona,
yes.
Yeah. I think that's true. But at the end of the day, it's fine just to have a little bit extra bonus on the Yasuo, that little extra AoE just to help him try to clean up fights. And I say try because, well, looking at this is going to be rough. Gunmei is going to send Joshi Chan packing for now. 5th is not horrible. It's not like he can't recover from this with strong performances in the final 2 games of the day. But it's far from perfect, right? Like I think that's safe to say. Even Dice of Cringer.
Oh no, that's not how you want to go. But yes, Josh Chen going to be going 5th there in the lobby. And like you're saying, I mean, I think that's still a very respectable position as well for today. They just got to make top 64, and I think they're fine to go on to day 2. And then day 2, all the points reset. So as long as they make that top 64, that's what counts.
Double has to sell a unit, has to sell his rockets back to make his regular spending. That is sad here. Again, I think that he realizes that he doesn't actually gain enough board power from having the Soraka in play. So might as well just get the value here. He doesn't want to give up a Saya 2 pair either. I mean, like, if this board doesn't make you, like, happy that you got to see something exciting, I don't know what will, to be honest.
Yeah, and double 61 here, they've got everything to play for. They get a bit of gold, which is going to help them slightly in this, but I think that Gunmei is just going to... No, I actually don't know here. The Shyvana, can they hold on? I can't see the HP. She gets CC'd, and that's going to be it. The Zarya absolutely just flinging these feathers out desperately, but it's not enough. I think Gunmei's going to take this one. And that's going to be it for... Wait!
No. I think we're good. No? Oh!
2 in a row! Oh, no.
Oh, no, man. Oh, no. Oh,
this is so a competition speciality right here. The double dies of cringe, chat. That's 2 servings. I hope you're hungry. Nom nom. Double 61 goes down in 4th. Again... I mean, you can be happy with that. They're getting points, they're gaining, they know that they're already in the middle of the lobby, or the middle of the, these 128 players, and now they've got 4th in this game 4. They should be safe there.
Yeah, I can look at the sport. We were talking about a lot of these augments today already, right? Hotshot, very, very, very good. Gadget Expert, well, very, very, very good. Cybernetic Shell, very, very good. Having triple combat in a triple goal lobby, very, very, very good. There's almost like there's like a common denominator about like what has really worked for Kaiser this game so far, right? Like this board is it is strong. Looking at the full Nomsy here, you're looking at a Corki with very, very, very good items. I was gonna say very, very, very good.
Very, very a lot. Very, very much. Yes. And we actually saw Ging and Kaiser both on these long win streaks here, but Kaiser's just holding supreme. They're at 90 HP. But still, like you say, these combat augments just doing really, really well. They don't even have a dragon on the board. Those got slurped up by some of the Dragon Horde players. And now we're going to see the double... well, no, sorry, not the double dragon. We've got a Nico there tricking me. There's too many Dragon Alliances for my good. But Corki now going to be trying to get through this chunky Xiaoyu. And Xiaoyu turns their attention on to Corki. And I think this might be Kaiser's first loss here in a long time. No, the Corki 1v1's the Xiaoyu.
Corki did not hear no bell. I think that is gonna be the name of the game here and now, as Gunny is gonna be looking at a 3rd place. So if you don't know Gunmei, you might be newer to the scene. On ladder, he plays by the name Jade Consurimi. So if you've seen that name in a European stream, well, that is Gunmei. In case you were unaware. Also, there's I wrote a little nice viewers guide for the people at home to want to deep dive into previous this weekend, where I also highlight a little bit about what Gunmei has done competitively so far, both in the past and this set, alongside 4 other players and general information about the tournament. So if you feel like deep diving into that, well, take a look.
Hey, that's cool. Where can the people find that?
They can find it on risinglegends.gg.
Well, there you go, chat. Type it into your Internet Explorer. That'll take you right there, and you can check that out. Some good work from Weta. But now we're seeing the good work of Ging here with this Corki just smashing through the Nomsy. And these are really good items here for this Corki. And it's going to be 2-star Corki versus 2-star Corki. The 2-star Corki wins. I was actually not expecting that. I thought Ging had that one against Kaiser.
I mean, I think that this again, the combat augments are very good from they're fantastic from both players, right? But
yeah.
I feel like the Zeke's Herald, I think, could be the one that actually ends up being the determining factor here. Not mistaken, right? Kaiser has a Zeke's Herald.
Yeah, Kaiser does have a Zeke's. Yeah, he does.
So even with second wind and double cyber, that's a lot of triple cyber shell. If you're wondering how good cybernetic shell is, well, It is very good, especially in a very 80-centric lobby. So
You got Triple Cyber and me. We have 4 Cybers on the broadcast for you, chat. This is a cyber-heavy lobby.
great. We only need 5 more. No, that's not. Just 5 more, right? Yeah. 4 plus 5 equals 9. Yes. Math.
Yeah.
We did it. Math on broadcast.
Math on broadcast. We did it. We did it, chat. We got this face off here. The whole lobby now still has so much health, but Kaiser, I think, is able to beat both of these boards of Ging and Gunmei. So it's looking like we're potentially going to have this, you know, some might say an anticlimactic winner here, but Ging and Gunmei holding on for the second and potential third, or second and third place. Now there is a chalice here. We do have Nomsy players still left in the on the board. Do you think that it's worth taking the Chalice Theron here?
I think it's better to take the Banshee. I have no active reference to pull out there for the Banshee's Claw.
Fair enough, fair enough. And Kaiser here levels to 9.
Can I just play Nicolas Cage because he plays everything? So you could play a Banshee, no?
Yeah.
He probably already has in some movie we've never seen.
Yeah, just as long as it's not the bees and somebody gives him back his truffle pig.
What are we doing?
I don't know why we're making Nicolas Cage references on a TFT broadcast, but here we are, chat. Here we are. Good thing we didn't have me and Uetha filling earlier, and we actually had Panda and Makes instead.
As Calvin points out here, Banshees are female, so Nicolas Cage probably haven't played that.
There you go. I don't know. He's an incredible actor. I'm pretty sure he could play a woman in a movie.
Incredible range, right?
Incredible range. You'd believe it too.
Just like this Corki. Incredible range.
Just like this Corki, but the Shio Yu says enough. I've had enough of these Corkis. When am I going to get my Independence Day?
I don't know. You gotta steal the decoration first. And yeah. And you would need a sequel as well. I don't know.
I'll speak to my people. We'll get Nicolas Cage involved. Kaiser actually loses that round. The first Kaiser can bleed. It's possible, and I mean, Gunmei and Ging both maintaining their health. They would have been going up against a ghost comp there. So Kaiser's the only one to actually lose health that round. Unexpected. Unexpected
indeed. Well, against Jing here now. Ging, sorry, it's Ging. We call him Jing for like 3 sets. We don't talk about it. He gets a Zephyr from the TG here, has a Shroud as well, so a lot of utility that you need to position around and plan around here. So interesting to see like where this is gonna go again. It's Corki on Corki action here, and one Corki is gonna hit by Sona, one isn't. So I think that is just math.
I think that's just the Sona diff. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to come down to positioning. You got these, you got the Shroud, you got the Zephyr here as well. Just really nice from Ging to be able to, you know, slow down the pace of the opponent.
Worth noting that this Nomsy does stack infinite, so these Nomsies are quite big right now. They've just been stacking since like stage 2, both of these.
Nomsy's got the Shroud and the Ice Cream Cone there as well. So these are strong Nomsies.
Yeah, Locket not ideal, but again, it does at least give you some more health on the back, and it does fade out though, right? So it's not like it's guaranteed that, but it could be cyber value on something that doesn't already have an item equipped, so that could be pretty good for Kaiser. Also, worth noting here, 3 players going into stage 7 is pretty irregular. I was watching a game the other day where there were 5 players going into stage 7. That was something to be a sight to behold. Gunmei gets a Bloodthirster. That is not ideal, I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, they don't really have any options to put that on. They put it on Talon, which is, yeah, I mean, that's a decent slam there for sure.
Gets a bit of extra AD in there. Could even play it second Nico and just have that extra shield from the BC on her instead. But ends up going directly into both the Shroud and the Sona angle as well, potentially. So his fight is very important, but he's full streaking right now, technically.
Yeah, and I'm just keeping eyes on the Siphon and where they're looking to charge. They are getting knocked around and CC'd a little bit. So they've not been as proactive as they have,
so big.
As you'd hope.
That Bartolome was just huge, man. Just knocks down the entire team. That's going to be a huge hit for Gotti. Down to 3 HP now. Needs to win 2 fights back-to-back to even have a chance of staying in here.
Yeah, this is potentially a Gunmei third angle. but anything can happen. And if anything can happen, anything will happen. Kai'Sa is bleeding, though. Their health is dropping rapidly. But do they have enough to hold on where Ging and Gunmei just don't, that much lower down on the HP?
This is just a weird game, right? Like right now,
this is a weird ending, yeah.
It is a weird game, man. We're stage 7-2, and there's still 3 players alive. There could even still be 3 players alive after this fight.
Yeah, and now we have the Corki vs Anivia angle here. Xiao Yu chomping on through. The big bottle comes through, but Corki just deflects it. Oh, sorry, ignore me.
It's fine. I think like we are all just kind of.
Bod did like a defensive ult, and it threw me completely. It came down on like all of Kai'Sa's side of the board.
Well, also threw Gunmei out of this game, sadly for Gunmei, right? But we now are down at stage 7-3 to our 1v1. And we do have Kai'Sa and Ging playing here. I believe it's going to be Ging on the streak. It is indeed here. But with Kai'Sa also winning 2 fights here, back-to-back, potential Yasuo 2 angle to explore as well. Like, this is just like trying everything under the sun to figure out what's going to be the game-deciding thing, right? Because you're looking at a Shroud, you're looking at the TEG that can give you anything in the world. Like, there are just so many like things to look out for right now.
Yeah, this is one of those games. Oh, and there's the Yasuo too. This is one of those games where I really love to go back and rewatch and just like there's so many things to account for both of these players with these Shrouds, with these Bards, with the positioning of their comp in general to try and reduce the amount of damage that these Bards are going to be able to do with the CC. There's just so much to digest here and take in.
Just Soraka, man. Just keeps this Yasuo alive so he gets a third cast onto the Corki of Ging, man. Like, these fights are like, there's so much fight RNG to look into, man. Like, there's just so many small things. We get another fight at least here. Carousel, we're looking at utility items. You already know. Mage Cap could be interesting as well. Can't remember, like, it's been 2 stages since we saw that random board die with the, like, Shimmer Scale, reckless spending Shyvana. We're still waiting for, like, this game to end. It's actually kind of insane. But,
well, we're at 7-4. Does anyone, is there even a unit with space left to put an item on? That's my question. We're so late into this game now.
There was a Draven's next game as well, right? Like,
yeah.
Holy moly.
So we got the mage so Ging there took the mage spat. Who are they going to end up placing that on? Yeah.
That's the big one right now. Looking for that Zoe to make an appearance. But it's not going to happen.
They got no gold left. They're holding
the approach here.
Silas.
Yeah, I like the approach here of like stopping their rolling just to get the Shroud in the right place.
Yeah. I was going to say, they're holding the Silas, they're not doing anything with it, but they're obviously then just setting up for the next bit of combat.
That fish isn't play. I'm an idiot. Someone cast twice here now. The Corki on the back end. This is another fight. This could be a fight win for Ging. We could be looking at another fight, Cyber.
We could be going for another one. Mom, I'm not going to make it home this weekend. I'm trapped in game 4. We go to stage 7-6.
So we're looking at 8-1, which I do believe the game will just end with the win, right? Like, there's just going to be, like, the player damage just ramped up to, like, infinite just to combat Soraka Freeze. So that is something that we have, that we do need to keep an eye out for here. So while it might be, like, right now, Ging being in the best position overall, this could all change. Yeah, of course, there's a Heimerdinger right there. Like, I'm blind, man. I was like, yeah, no. He's playing triple trainer mate. This board is just wild, man.
Yeah, these are really interesting compositions. I mean, when it comes down to it, we can just discuss the Corki and say, oh, well, Corki comps are strong, but everything else surrounding these are very, very interesting indeed. Those nonsies as well, just doing a great job.
Shroud wasn't perfect here. That's a big one.
That's good. That could be enough for Ging to just fall here. But this has been a battle and a half. I think Kai'Sa's got enough left in the tank. No, the big Sona ult on Corki stuns him.
Oh.
And I think
so close.
Ging's going to hold on. Yes, and we're going to another round. Ging wins this one.
What is this game, Cyber?
That Sona ult on the Kai'Sa, on Kai'Sa's Corki was perfect there. Just allowed Ging to hold on for another round. And now we got PvE.
Okay, so here there is a mage cap. That is technically a mage cap, right? A death cap is a mage cap to a certain extent. And look at this now. It's going to be changing this around. Going to be putting in the Shyvana here. Make a break here for Kaiser, right? Might as well try something different here. But gets a static ship when he already has a Gadget Expert here. That's going to be even more direct damage coming through. And this Sona is going to be doing even more damage. One with a shield. Like I have no idea how to like. On paper, my heart tells me that Ging wins this game, but this is one of the wildest games of TFT I've ever seen.
I think it just comes down to like good fight prep with these shrouds, and yeah, I don't know, just good positioning and good switching of the board. I think that's what this is going to come down to.
He's going to toggle the TG.
Okay.
Double Spark.
Double Spark.
Well, at least that's
I
equal.
like it. That's Double Spark. Wait, Double Spark, Thieves, both. What's happening?
We're living in a
devolving.
simulation.
Yeah, we're living in a simulation. How do we get two double? Oh my goodness.
I have no idea, man.
This could be our potential last round. Kai's on 25 health, dropped from 90 HP, and these last 3 people alive. Ging here at 10 HP. It's definitely a last loss for both, but I think this is finally going to be it. This is Kai's revenge, I think.
Oh, the Shyvana though.
The Shyvana from the back! And that's gonna be it! Kaiser takes it! What a game! What a game 4!
That is one of the things that we're just gonna be looking out. I mean, I'm glad.